So let's talk about something that really freaks parents out when they come into my office, and that's dissociation. So, dissociation is actually a very common thing. Most people dissociate to a degree, and that is kind of like zoning out. So that's like driving to work and not realizing that you've passed, and stopped at three stop signs or five traffic lights. That is getting ready in the morning, and you're getting yourself ready, you're getting your kids ready, and you don't really remember putting your earrings on, but you got to work and you have your earrings on. So that's a form of dissociation. That's on the less intense line of dissociation. And then you work all the way up to fragmenting of the personality. And that's what people think about. And that's really freaks them out when I talk about their child dissociating. And they think, oh my gosh, multiple personalities. And, for the most part, when we dissociate, that's not the level we're talking about. Also, if that is the level we're talking about, it's also okay. Once you can figure out that that's what's going on with a kid or an adult, then you can manage it just like every other mental health disorder. So when there's a fragment of a person, a fragmented personality, or different what we call self states or parts of a person, that can be kind of scary to think about, especially with the person when there's not an awareness that's happened yet, and there might be some amnesia between the different self states, and they can't really remember. But once we figure out that that's what's going on, then we can work to some resolution of that. Now, that's at the extreme end of dissociation. And for the most part, that's not where people are, or that's not where they're headed. So for the most part, there's maybe more like just, I don't feel like myself sometimes. Like I just feel like I'm out of my body sometimes. I feel like I'm like zoned out more than normal, or my environment just doesn't feel real to me sometimes. That's what's more common with dissociation. And again, it's okay. Like we can deal with that. It just, dissociation just is like a scary thing because, again, we have media that's hyped it up, or we've had, stories in history of people with multiple self states that seem scary, or they seem out of control. And so that's where people's minds go. But it doesn't have to be that scary. Again, for the most part, we all dissociate to some level. And some people dissociate a little bit more than others. Now, some of the things that cause dissociation can be quite scary. And working through that can help ground people. But, dissociation itself it is quite a common thing on a lower level. And if we've experienced some extreme stressors, it's a way to cope with those stressors. It's a way to avoid the pain that has come along with those stressors. And I'm here to say that it's an okay thing to deal with. Once we get it figured out, we can put some things in place to help that person or that child or that adult be more present in their lives. And there are a lot of people who feel a little fragmented, who feel a little disconnected throughout the day, either with themselves or with their surroundings, and they learn to deal with it and can be very successful.